week 2 recap, and we are going to make sure we give you what you want. We're going to probably do rapid fire like last week. We know we kind of stayed a little bit over. Let's see if we can hit these things out. The first thing we're going to talk about is the surprise New Orleans Saints going off against the Cowboys, going physically into it, winning 44-19. Nobody saw this coming. The top performers in this game was Dak Prescott with his 293 yards for 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Well, in passing, it's just in passing. It's not like. Then in rushing, we had Mr. Alvin Kamara on 20 carries on 115 yards and then 3 touchdowns. And then, what do you think about this guy? Like this is year number 2. What is his name? Rashid.
Shaheed.
What are your thoughts about him as a wide receiver? Because
he's been bald.
So like with him, I see him physically as like that Tyreek Hill type of guy. Like he's a great boomer bust player, a great waiver wire pick, a great best ball player. But he's doing his thing.
Yes, Rashid. He's like you say, he a big play receiver. Yeah, he a big play. Only caught 4 catches, 96 yards on a touchdown. I think he had a big game in week 1 too. But yeah, he's a great best ball player. The problem is you don't know when to start him in fantasy. That's the issue. I mean, apparently you need to start him every week so far, but we'll see how long this continues on. But I do have him I know I have him in at least 1 best ball. I know I looked the other day. I have AK in 1 best ball. I'm so sad of myself for that. But they beat the shit out of the Cowboys. F them. Not just because they're my rival as an Eagles fan, but they got me -6 points against my co-host. I need all the points I can get because I did not start Kyler. So F them. And then they were 16-0 the last home win. So yeah, F them. I just knew they was gonna come up and show up on because I thought they're frauds, they fake. They still may be. So yeah, F them. Let's go to the next game.
So are you saying that they're frauds up in like a nice little Mr. Rogers sweater?
Well, I'm saying the Saints. No, I don't know about the Saints shit. I'm saying they still may be fraud.
I'm talking about the Cowboys.
Yeah. The Cowboys, they are who we thought they are. They're just who we thought they are a little earlier than normal. Normally that happens like later in the year, later in the season. You know, when they become when the fraudness is starting to show, it's showing early. Now I know Cowboy fans will be like, "Well, we flipping it. We frauds early. We gonna boom late." Nah, y'all who y'all are.
Okay, next game we're going to go into is the Green Bay Packers and then the Indianapolis Colts.
Man,
it was like a dogfight. Like Malik Willis did his thing as a backup. Ended up getting them 16 points, just enough, but he gave the ball to Josh Jacobs, and besides for that one fumble that he had about to go into the end zone.
Don't talk about that.
Yes, I'm talking about that. I got him on my fantasy team too.
Okay, so you mad with me? Okay, bro. I started. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Because last year he had a hell of a game, 125 yards, something like that, and not a touchdown. Yeah. This time, 151 yards, bro. It's just the touchdown just caps off your week, especially for fantasy. Even for not for fantasy, I think he got like 24 points. That'd have been 30. It just caps off. You fumbled in the end zone. He fumbled in the end zone. I was mad, pissed. So the score really should have been like 23-10. But I'm mad. Were you done? Because I got a couple things to say. So
no, you're good.
Let you go first, then I close out each game. But that see that's how Malik Willis did, right? He did. He got kicked out of.
Just waiting until the co-host gets back, everybody. I don't know what's going on. It keeps going back and forth.
Good. I should be good.
You good?
Should be good. So
right. I go back to Malik Willis.
I think it's my external camera. I think that's what's. I might have dropped it too many times. It's cheap. I don't know, but I'm using my laptop camera, so I'm not as clear. But anyway, yeah, Malik Willis. But that goes. So I think they play Tennessee next week too. So revenge game for Malik Willis. But it shows you he was 12 for 14, 122 yards, 1 touchdown, no turnovers, 82 QBR. That shows you how a player is in a good organization, under a good head coach who knows what they do, right? Yep. Kevin O'Connell with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold bounced around. Now he looking like he's competent.
Hey, going to hold off on him. We're gonna talk about him next. So
Malik Willis, he go to an organization, to a head coach. He just got there in August. You know what I'm saying? He win your game against the coach. Now, next team, what the hell are the coach doing? What's up, Anthony Richardson?
I don't know, but them 3 interceptions, dog. I need him to. What I need him to do is I need to get him to go into this little box that he has right here, and I need him to understand why he is throwing these interceptions. Is it because you ain't reading the defense right, dog? Or like what's going on? Like, do you need to go? Like, you had all that time off now,
a whole year to get better. But what were you doing on the time off? Playing video games? Because you weren't looking at tape.
But let's go and get, man. Hopefully they end up getting better. But the one thing about Malik Willis that I will say is next week, I want to see what's going to end up happening because we saw that Josh Jacobs took the rock and pretty much made him be where he didn't have to do much. I don't think that the Titans are going to let Josh Jacobs run for 32 carries.
Oh, they're
gonna make Malik throw. So I want to see what's going to happen then. But besides that, let's go and get back to the game of the 2 Minnesota Vikings and then the San Francisco 49ers.
Upset.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other injury that we missed to talk about, Justin Jefferson.
He said he's playing though. So
yeah,
I think he had a quad.
Yeah. But that game, I don't know if you watched that game all the way. I watched for probably a good, maybe the first, second quarter. Like that game was not close at all. Starting off. But then as the 49ers did, they honed in and was able to come back. But this is what we're talking about. Like whenever you got a quarterback that comes in and tells the actual defensive coordinator, I don't know what type of scheme you was playing out there.
Oh yeah.
But
crazy scheme.
Yeah, crazy scheme. That's what he said. Hey, I don't know what to tell you, dog. Like, was you seeing ghost?
and what you think other teams gonna do? It's a copycat league. What you think they're gonna do? Oh, let's figure out what the Vikings did. Let's implement this if we can into our game plan. And look how Purdy is without his. Now he had I guess they used 319 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But
it's gonna be different though. Like Devo's not gonna be there now. CMC's not there. Yeah, you got Jordan Mason still running for 100 yards, which is just showing that yes, CMC is a great factor, but also I bet you they would love to have CMC during this game though.
Because Mason can't do what CMC could do. We know that.
No, he's good. He's good at doing his job, which is to run in between the tackles.
Right.
But next game, the Commanders, Jaden Daniels finally got his first win, and Malik Neighbors went off this week. Man, about time. Jaden Daniels threw for 226 yards on no touchdowns. But then we also had Mr. Brian Robinson Jr. go off. I don't know what it is, but some of the running backs just went off this week for 130 yards and no touchdowns. But then Malik Neighbors ended up going off on 10 receptions, 127 yards, and then 1 touchdown. And then I know a lot of people out there, and I'm going to let you get your thunder too, but I got to speak this too. A lot of people said that this was the QB. Yes, we understand that the QB has to get him the ball. But after that yak yard that daggone Neighbor has, this is what we was talking about. That like what he can do. The yak. And I'll let you take it over from here.
Yeah, he's explosive. Even Singletary had a pretty good. He had 16 carries for 95 yards on a touchdown. So Daniel Jones, what I heard, I'm gonna tell you. So one of the few. It's not even one of the few bets. One of the few things I got right was picking Malik Nurse to get a touchdown this week. I had a good feeling. I heard that Daniel Jones, for some reason, he owns the Washington Commanders. From a stat perspective, and a win perspective, he owns them. So that's what made me go ahead and play that play for Malik Neighbors to get a touchdown this week. He had a 10 catch on 27, like you said. Now they possibly could have won this game. It was a 4th and 3, 4th and 4, and Daniel Jones hit him right in the hand on the sideline, and Malik just lost concentration and dropped it. He's got to clean that up, Malik. Now, I know you was balling, you was feeling yourself. He had 18 targets. 18 targets. Now, I think week 1, I know he only had 5 catches. I don't know how many targets he had. So he's probably in between both of them. So let's say he had 7 targets last week. 18, 7. In between there's about give me 11, 12 targets a game. I'll take that from Malik. So yeah, Jaden Daniels got his first win. Shout out to Jaden Daniels. Terry McLaurin, they got to do better. 6 catches for 22 yards. I saw a lot of screen passes to him. That ain't gonna get it done.
No, I think they was trying to. I think they was trying to get him the ball just to get him going, but he wasn't able to get going. But as of right now, the first 2 weeks, similar to like what we were saying with Terry McLaurin owners, don't panic. He actually did do better than what he did the week 1. But if you are out there and you do believe in Terry McLaurin, it wouldn't be a bad time to actually go and get him for like a buy low type of candidate. If you need that flex type of player, then that probably a good time just to go in and get him. In the next game, the Los Angeles Chargers, I'm not going to say much about this because pretty much the Panthers are probably one of the worst organizations, if the worst organization in the NFL right now. I don't know what's going on with them, but we can go over what happened in the game. Justin Herbert ended up throwing for 130 yards on 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. J.K. Dobbins ended up showing what he did last week. Maybe this is similar to like what we were saying about J.K. Dobbins. This is year number 2 of him physically off that Achilles. And he is showing people that, and like what we said before, they got new technology out there. He did his thing and ended up getting 17 carries for 131 yards and a touchdown. And this was a Quentin Johnson showing. And to be honest with you, I think it's going to be for every type of if you were playing the Panthers, make sure you were getting that defense up in fantasy. If you got the players, make sure you are starting them. That is one team you need to feed off of. So if you are the Falcons, if you see anybody that's doing bad out there right now on the Falcons or on the Saints or anybody that you think that's going to perform well, you ain't going to be able to get like Mike Evans. He had a bad game this past week. Maybe you can pluck him off somebody. But he's going to eat against the Panthers. The Saints are going to eat. We saw what happened week 1. Any team up in the NFC South is going to eat. Whoever plays the Panthers is going to eat. Let's go to the Jaguars and then the Cleveland Browns.
Survivor League, bet against the Chargers. Whoever they play. Chargers.
But so we got the Cleveland Browns versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Browns ended up coming back and winning that game. We don't know what's going on with Trevor Lawrence. This was like what we thought was going to end up happening, like a dogfight. Trevor Lawrence ended up going for 220 yards on no touchdowns and no interceptions. Jerome Ford only had 7 carries for 64 yards, and Brian Thomas Jr. had 2 receptions for 94 yards, which he did decent as a rookie.
Yeah, I don't know why Devonta Foreman had 14 carries and Jerome only had 7. I don't know why is that. I don't have much to say about this game. Mark Cooper had a pedestrian game. Poor Jerry Jeudy led for them. Deshaun got the win. He didn't throw no touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown. But, I don't know what's going on with the Christian Kirk had 3 targets. It's ridiculous. He did have a touchdown, but it was called back because of a holding or something else. I don't know what's going on with Trevor Lawrence. Next game,
Next game is the game that we all saw your boy, Mr. Kyler Murray, go off for the Arizona Cardinals versus the Los Angeles Rams. Fantasy owners, we are sorry if you have any of the Rams wide receivers. We will try to get you the next up-and-coming receivers just to get off of waiver wires because Matthew Stafford is going to have to throw somebody the ball. We did mention one of the guys earlier in the episode, but hey, Marvin Harrison looked pretty decent for what?
Yeah.
He only had 4 receptions for 130 yards and then 2 touchdowns, but he gave you what you wanted up in fantasy. You finally got your 2 touchdowns. And then we also had Kyler Murray showing, did his thing, 266 yards on 3 touchdowns. James Conner showed off too as well. That's trying to let people know that I am not old still. Do not try to put this rookie out ahead of me in Mr. Trey Benson, which eventually he already knows that he's going to have to hand over the reins a little bit. But James Conner ended up having 21 carries for 122 yards for 1 touchdown. I don't have much else to say about this game, but it was just a good fantasy and a great game just to watch if you was an Arizona Cardinal fan.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long year for the Rams. The O-line hurt. They got other stuff hurt. Yeah, it's tough. Both of the receivers hurt. Shout out to Kyler Murray for the perfect QB, for the perfect passer rating and a 98 QBR. We saw a little bit of Blake Corum. He had 8 carries for 28 yards. Other than that, I don't have much to say. Marvin Harrison did a job in the first quarter. He didn't need to do anything else. Terry McLaurin had 6 catches, so that was pretty good. Shout out to Kyler with the Houdini act and him being a top 5 quarterback, like we said this year he would be.